Who's the guest?
So hers was actually the first homegrown Indian beauty brand that I tried. She's made a big mark on a reality show earlier this year. She's a super young founder and I am currently obsessed with her lip balm. Karishma Kewalramani, welcome to Pasandida Ladies. Guys, I don't want to lie at the beginning of the episode, but we will be extra nice to Karishma because Karishma has got all of us, pay gifts. Yay!
Now I have repeat customers here.
Yes, and if there is nothing you must know about me, you must know I like freebies. I am middle class, sue me. I like free shit. What is that song? I like free shit and I cannot lie. Okay, but listen. Since this is the first time you and I are hanging out, I thought everyone who knows me knows that I like to gamify everything.
Okay.
Okay, if I had a choice, I would even make conversations into games.
Yeah.
So literally that's what I'm going to do at the start of the episode.
Let's go.
I'm going to read a bunch of statements and you have to tell me if this has happened to you or not.
Okay.
Okay. Statement number 1. A well-wisher suggested that everything you have is courtesy Papa.
It's happened a bunch of times and I wouldn't call them well-wishers. For sure.
Yeah, they're assholes.
They're
they're
different
like,
breed.
Yeah. Okay, so it has happened. They'll be like, Papa ji ki deen hai aapke paas.
As you can see my Instagram comments.
Why? What is in the comment section?
Some of them will say, I have this series going on about what it's like to build in this space. And
Yes,
every now
sure.
every now or then there'll be one random hater who says, let's not forget that she's privileged. Let's not, just a reminder that she's only here because XYZ worked out. And granted, it has a lot to do with where I am.
Yeah.
But it's not the only reason.
You know, I feel like there are a few words now in pop culture that we have just taken and we're like, har situation mein ye baith sakta hai.
Absolutely.
So, a while ago it was nepotism. Okay, everything was nepotism.
Yeah.
Now it is because we say own your privilege, even if you are middle class but went to convent school, you are privileged.
Correct.
Now it is like privilege. We will just co-opt these words and be like, har situation mein ghusa do.
Yeah.
Gaslight.
Oh my God, that's a big one.
People don't know the definition of gaslight at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
sorry.
like a defense mechanism at this point.
Yeah. Okay, next statement.
Yeah.
Said something bizarre to you because of your gender.
Several times.
Okay, give me an
you want to tell
example.
the story? I was in an investor pitch years ago.
Oh wait, this is tea.
This is good tea. Years ago, and it was not in Bombay. It was in a much smaller city of India. And the
Which
pitch,
city?
If I say it, it'll give away too much. Let's just say in the south.
Okay.
The pitch was so good. I was going to walk out of there thinking I'm getting the investment. It's done. And he said, but one second, what happens when you get married? I said, I'm not engaged. I was 26. I have no plans of getting married anytime soon. I feel I'm too young. He said, but Papa's going to force you na in next 1-2 years may. I said, excuse me, force? Like, how does anyone have any control of when I get married? He's like, come on, yaar. You know he's going to force you in 1-2 years. You're not going to have a choice. And I said that I hope he doesn't invest in my company. I hope he doesn't give me a term sheet because what will I do, right? And fortunately he didn't. And it's so funny. This year, I haven't spoken to the guy in 5 years and the company's obviously changed a lot.
Yeah.
I got a call from his office just a couple of weeks ago saying, hey, I heard you're in the middle of fundraise. Can we invest? And I said, sorry, round's full, which is the most satisfying
You know what?
thing
I love that
I got
for
to
you.
do.
I love that for you. Because what an asshole.
Yeah.
What a misogynistic piece of shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, if he's watching this.
It's different to ask, are you married? Are you pregnant? Are you going to have a child? Those are all fair asks. But to say, Papa is going to force you at some time is
But one second, tell me why it's a fair ask to ask
because I think
about marriage.
I might get a bit of hate for this. It's because you'll figure out when that person is going to take a big break from work. That's the only reason you should ask. If you are pregnant and you're raising funds, I feel like it's fair to be asked.
I don't have a problem.
You're probably going to take a
I
big
think
maternity leave in a while.
I think the pregnancy question is fair.
Marriage is not fair.
Yeah, marriage I feel like because I don't think, and I'm not someone who's in all these investor pitches obviously, but I'm certain men are not being asked this question. In general, I don't think men are being asked about their marital status, partnership status or any other status.
Yeah.
Given the world and the dating
Yeah,
times that exist.
And also sometimes I like to spin it around and also think that why do I have to be married in order to answer the maternity question? What if I pull a fast one on you? Then what?
Yeah.
You never asked me.
Yeah.
So it's a stupid question in like from the marriage context, but fair to ask if there is a baby on the way. I feel like that is fair information.
Weren't you also asked about when do you plan on getting pregnant?
Yes.
Like someone seriously asked you this question.
Yeah,
like,
without me being married. What about children? What happens when you get pregnant? I said the same thing that would happen to my husband if he existed.
Yeah.
If I got pregnant, right? He'd continue to go to work. I would also continue to go to work. There are so many female entrepreneurs who have continued to work through babies, through pregnancies with the baby in the office.
Wow.
Doesn't impact much. Yeah.
Okay. Has a date Googled you before meeting you?
I'm sure because I always Google. So I'm sure they've offered me the same.
No one has come and said, hey, we Googled you and you have a beauty brand and this and that.
I had one guy several years ago who after finding out what I did said, what are you going to do after this? And I said, what do you mean? He said, I mean, seriously, lipstick making is a joke, right?
What?
Like, you can't be serious about this career. And I said, maybe you didn't Google enough because you think this is some hobby that I'm doing. But I think that's the extent of the experience I've had there.
Okay. I hope that guy also reaches out to you at some point. Usko bhi same hi jawab dena ki, no, I'm so sorry, I'm engaged to be married. Fuck you. Okay. Have you ever been the only woman in a room?
Several times. Most investor pitches end up being like that. It's a male-dominated category. But I will say that a lot has changed. I think when I started pitching in 2020, it was very different.
Shit, you started around COVID.
Yeah, I started like 6 months before COVID. It was really rough. It was very different then, and today it's still, the VC environment has changed, but I will say the environment has become way more supportive. I no longer get asked those questions, and very often I'll have male VCs say, hey, let me just bring one of my female team members in the room so that they can bring context to the table, which I love.
So much smarter.
So
it just
much
makes so much sense because as much as we don't want to gender everything, ultimately you do need that perspective also, right?
You do, because she's the consumer.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
It's a beauty brand and your main audience is women. Your main clients are women.
Yeah.
Makes total sense. Had a concept be over-explained to you because they didn't think that you'd get it?
It happens every week, all the time. In my product team, we have like a funny quote where we categorize suppliers as mansplainer or non-mansplainer. That is literally how we describe some of our suppliers. And we sometimes put him on mute.
So give me an example of what a supplier will say.
No, madam, you don't understand how this works. And I would say I have been doing it for 6 years, plus 1 year before that of R&D development, etc. Trust me, I understand how this works by now, right? No, you don't understand. Okay, fine. So I'll put you on mute. Speak as much as you want to speak. Once you are confident that you have explained enough, I'll tell you that I've understood it already.
Great.
There's no point fighting.
Love it. Okay. Had a celebrity be not so nice to you?
Fortunately, no.
Okay. Taken multiple imaginary flights in the middle of a long meeting?
For sure. For sure. It's hard not to.
Worried about too much cleavage or leggage showing? Leggage is...
All the time. I'm always wondering, is my outfit work appropriate? Even though our culture is not like that. Our culture is pretty young. It's pretty chill. Everyone can wear whatever they want. Nobody ever gets told to dress down or up a certain way. But you do tend to think about it. Even though I think it's just conditioning.
So you're talking about when you go to the office, you're thinking about your outfits.
Yeah.
Is there a certain code you have in your head about what you can and can't wear?
I try to ensure that my dresses are not, if I'm ever wearing a dress, is not more than 4 inches above the knee, which used to be the school rule. My school uniform used to not be allowed to be 4. And I try to think about the same because I don't know what else to do, right? And I'm coming from the perspective of living and working in America. I used to live there, I used to work there. It was very different. No one will size you up or down by your outfit the same way as sometimes you are in India. Like till today, if I go to a factory, I will wear a salwar kameez and go. You just get a little bit more, I don't know, maybe it's conditioning like I said, I'm not sure what it is, but every female team member of mine also will show up in salwar kameez. It's like an unspoken code. We're going to factory, we're wearing salwar kameez.
What does that say about us though, right?
Right? It's so interesting. It also opens your eyes to a different like culture and society, right? Where a lot of people who work in factories are not used to seeing women in leadership positions.
Yeah.
And I have certain factories that I work with. I have a factory specifically that I work with in which a woman is the director, promoter, owner. And it's phenomenal to see, right? But it's also interesting to see that she has to put in so much more aggression and effort than probably her male counterpart to get shit done, because the culture in rural India is very different from urbanized, right? In Bombay, we are used to it now. But in a village in Gujarat, they can't handle that a woman is shoving them around because it's predominantly male workforce.
Pretending to be busy to get out of family obligations.
Yes. I hate to admit it, but yeah, for sure.
Had someone undermine you because of your age?
When I started out, for sure, I wasn't able to get a factory to agree to take my business.
Really?
And I believed it was because of my age, but also because of the socio-economic climate with beauty. That time there were no big beauty startups, right? There was just, there were large companies, MNCs, and then there were large Indian MNCs as well. Large Indian companies, sorry, not MNCs, but MOQs were very high. So at that time when a young 25-year-old girl was going and saying, I want to make 2,000 pieces.
What is MOQ? You'll have to, okay. So I'm going to be really honest with you that I don't understand a lot of the technical jargon. So Eli Fi, explain like I'm a 5-year-old, or maybe the listeners are slightly older, hopefully. So
minimum order quantity.
Yeah. So, okay, minimum order quantity.
So I would go and say I want to order 2,000 pieces of lipstick, and they'll say 20,000 is the minimum order quantity. And I could not fathom ordering those many lipsticks. I didn't have such a big vision or plan. So to convince a manufacturer to say, yes, I'll do this at a small MOQ, and I'm willing to develop the formula for you from scratch, was very difficult, probably also because of my age. I was very young. I was very naive. Today I don't have that issue at all.
How old were you when you started?
25. When I launched FAE, I was 25. So I started working when I was 24.
So this is a question I'm always curious about, right? With young founders. It's like, if you had to ask me what I was doing at 24, I was obviously like, hustling to get a job security is everything, job security is everything. So for me, it's always like, where the fuck did you get the balls from? Like, sorry, pardon my language, but like the guts to just be like, I want to start my own business.
So for me, it came out of extreme unhappiness with my career, combined with extreme personal sort of things that happen in life, and I'll talk about it. So two things happened. I was studying and living abroad, and I was very clear, same vibe as you, right? Job security, great job out of college. I had gone abroad. I had this dream, even though my father never asked for it, I had this dream that one day I will pay him back all the money he's invested in my education with interest. That was my goal. That was like my North Star metric. And studying abroad is not cheap, right? So it was like a personal goal that I had made for myself. And so I got this great job in the US. It paid extremely well. I was living a very glamorous life from the outside. I was taking 3 flights a week. So I was based out of San Francisco, but I would have my projects in LA and Seattle. And I would fly on company account, and it sounds amazing, right? You're 22 years old, you're flying 3 times a week, you're expensing amazing meals to the company, but you're working like 18, 19 hours a day.
What is the job?
I was a management consultant.
Okay.
And I got to specifically work in beauty. So I was very focused that I want to work in beauty. I got to experience work with L'Oreal, with Estee Lauder. And I was always sort of on the back of my mind and heart, I knew beauty is where I want to be. My college friends would tease me that you'll open a parlor. My school friends would tease me that I used to be the girl who used to tie everyone's braids before assembly. There was a line of girls that used to tie their braids because I was that into beauty as a concept, and I'll get into why over there as well. And I realized after 1 year of working in the US that I'm so unhappy. I'm working so hard to build someone else's dream. I'm working 90-hour weeks with zero appreciation. Sure, the money is great, but if I don't take risk at this age, then when I'm married, when I have a child, then it's even more scary to take risk. And this is me thinking at the age of 23, right? And I had a decision to make, which was either quit my job, go back to India, because I had to apply for a visa to stay in America for longer, or apply for the visa and then fix, like life is in America then. So I said, I'm not going to apply for the visa. I called my parents. I said, I'm planning to quit and come back. My dad said, what will you do? What's your plan? So I sat down that night, and then for 12 hours, back to back, I think I wrote like 100 almost sheets of paper, A4 papers. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, pros and cons of every single plan.
What was Plan A at that time?
Plan A was come back to India and either find a job in beauty or start my own beauty brand. I knew it was beauty, for sure. And Plan A ke pros and cons the. Plan A was 100% job in India because I thought security, financial freedom, because plan B is too much ahead. It's too difficult to do. Who will buy from me? I'm a nobody. I'm not a celebrity. There were no non-celebrity brands. So I said, plan A hi karenge. I showed my dad pros, cons. I had X amount of savings in my bank. I said, I don't have to come back and be financially dependent on anyone. I'll figure it out. So came back and then started exploring jobs, started interviewing, and I realized that the beauty industry in India is a shithole at that point, right? We were only talking to Alia Bhatt and Kareena Kapoor, and I love Kareena Kapoor. I'm the biggest Kareena Kapoor fan. But what about the Bipashas and the Kareenas and the Rani Mukherjees? My mom is a Rani Mukherjee. She's dusky, she's beautiful, but nobody ever called her beautiful. When I was born, one aunt told her, "Thank God, tere pe nahi gayi hai," because I'm fair. And imagine that conditioning. So I'd grown up seeing that with my mom. And I used to feel so angry that I think my mom's the most beautiful girl in the world. Why doesn't anybody else think so? And why doesn't anybody else make products for her? And so I started thinking that there are hundreds and thousands of women like my mom who don't feel included. So maybe there's an opportunity here to start a business. But I was not sure that I could do it. And it's so serendipitous, or whatever the word is, that I'm here because this building is where I trained to be a makeup artist.
What?
Yeah. So.
Oh, we're at Studio Ash next.
And there is a makeup academy in the next building. It's called the Daniel Bauer Makeup Academy.
Fuck, that is so fucking weird, dude.
It's such a crazy story. And I came and I became a makeup artist. And
I've had such a mic drop moment that I've literally dropped all my cue cards.
Should I help?
No, don't worry. Don't cut. I'm fine.
And I became a makeup artist, and I remember at that point my friends, my family even were like, what is she doing? She went to Berkeley. She got this business education. And now she wants to pivot to become a makeup artist. And makeup artists don't make a lot of money for a lot of time.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. It's a really hard job. And I respect makeup artists because it's long hours. You're on your feet. There's no appreciation. And I said, no, I'm going to do it because I need to understand what it's like to think about and think like an Indian consumer. So I did that for 6 months. And I got the chance to work with Daniel and his team for 6 months. I worked on film sets. I worked on not podcast sets, but TV shows. Fashion Week for 4 seasons, and I understood.
Fashion Week must have been brutal.
It was hard, but I learned everything I needed to know to say I'm going to do this. And to answer your question, where did I get the balls? Like I said, professional concerns, personal concerns, but biggest reason I had the balls is my dad. And my dad from the time I was a kid.
It's nice for me to be constantly reminded by my guests about the support that men and the role that men have played in their lives.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like a lot of people just tuning into this podcast, whether you're listening to it, whether you're watching it, will be like, oh, Pasandida Ladies.
Yeah.
That means she must be a man-hater. Janice absolutely does not want to talk to men.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
It's nice to be reminded that no, there are men out there who will uplift you, who will support you, who will champion you.
Absolutely. My dad would tell me, and he still tells me, you can do anything. And I believe in you no matter what, you just go do it. And if anything goes wrong, now I'm standing as a pillar behind you. And sometimes that's all you need.
That's all you need.
I never have fallen back on my dad and said, bail me out of this mess. I've gone through hell and back with this company. But just knowing that he's there, not financially, right? I'm not talking about my financial privilege.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the support. And when I go home crying and say, today this went wrong, and he just says, tomorrow's another day, we'll figure it out. You know, that has played a huge role in my ability to just continue to do this.
You know, I love this, right? Like, I mean, you started a company because you felt like your mother was underrepresented in the market.
Yeah.
The reason you are able to do what you do is because you have your dad standing as your pillar.
Absolutely.
It just goes to show, like, you know, fuck, I don't know how this is becoming so thematic because I shot obviously before this also. The previous guest also, we're just talking about like your parents.
Yeah.
As much as we grow up fighting with them, screaming at them, taking them for granted, eventually
it's them.
That is the unconditionality that comes back to us.
Agreed. I think a lot about this concept of nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
And it has so much. I have friends who have grown up with the exact same background, lifestyle, family, education as me. But they are so different, and I chalk it down to sometimes the parents' encouragement. Like, I have a very dear person in my life who has so much potential, but she will not take that potential because she's been conditioned to believe that you might not be able to handle risk in life. But my parents have told me that you can handle anything. And that's why I believe it. I can handle anything. You know, they give you the guts.
No, shout out to, like, love that. Yeah? I love. Sometimes it's your origin story, right?
Yeah.
And when nothing else is working, you go back to thinking about why the fuck did I start all of this?
Absolutely.
And who the fuck is standing there when no one else is there?
Correct.
You have both those reasons fully cemented in place.
Absolutely.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to knock on wood. Let's let's knock. I want to talk about a specific aspect that you already touched upon, right? The dark skin tone thing. Because the world over, I feel like every now and then I'll open Instagram or I'll open YouTube Shorts and I'll see that there is a creator who's sitting there and saying that even though the founder of this brand, and it could be like someone like Rihanna who's got Fenty, even then they're getting shades for darker tones wrong.
Yeah.
Because dark tones, I guess, go into so many different sort of color combinations, right? Is it really that difficult that people keep consistently getting it wrong?
I'd say it's difficult in so many levels and angles.
Explain a little bit, like break it down for me.
Break it down, right? Like a 5-year-old, I'll only talk about maybe 2 angles. One is the commercial angle and one is the practical angle. So let's talk about the commercial angle.
Okay.
If I have to make, let's say, 10 shades of a product, my factory has to handle or plan for 10 changeovers, right? Which means there's a vessel. The vessel is making the foundation, right? Let's say the factory has 3 vessels. If I have 3 vessels, I have to make 3 foundations in each vessel, and 1 vessel I have to make 4. So the factory has to clean the vessels only 3 times total. Each time you clean a vessel, you lose line time, which means the amount of time the factory can actually fill the product. So the less time the factory is running the line, the less money the factory makes. Factory's goal is line has to be on all the time. We cannot be wasting so much time in cleaning and transferring. So factory is not inclined to do 30 shades because imagine cleaning each vessel 10 times. Means in 1 month it's going to take you at least 20 days just to manufacture those 30 shades. So if a company is going to, or a factory is going to commit to a company that I'm going to make 30 shades for you, they need a certain minimum order quantity that you will ensure that my line is running for the next 20 days, which means you'll order 1 lakh pieces, 2 lakh pieces, 10 lakh pieces, so that it is commercially viable for me to do so many changeovers. That is the complexity commercially, and this is why a lot of beauty brands do not do so many shades, is because the factory is resistant to doing so many shades until and unless you can provide a certain quantity. Or you can give them a plan. In 1 year, I will give you this much business, take on this project, right? That's the commercial angle to it, and it's a bit nuanced. The practical angle, because it's kind of a chicken and egg situation, because in India we haven't done enough deep skin tones for so long, factories haven't built capability in-house, in R&D, in color matching to understand the nuances of deep skin tones. They understand medium, they understand light, but how do I make dark warm, how do I make dark cool, how do I make dark olive? That's very nuanced, and being able to see those colors is an art. Now there are very few people, according to me, in India. One of them is sitting in my team. Superwoman.
Give her a shout out.
Bijal. She is just
shout out Bijal.
And Tanishri. I have to say both of them. The two of them can see color like nobody else, right? And we are at the cusp of the biggest launch for the brand. We're launching skin tints in 3 weeks, and again, touch wood. And we're launching India's most diverse shade range. I mean, I think people are going to be blown away when they see the number of shades, because we've...
How many?
When is this podcast coming out?
I think we'll be like around a little bit upar niche.
30 shades. The next Indian brand that's done these many shades is, I don't know which, there's so many brands, but they've done like 12. No Indian brand has done 30. And
doesn't matter when the fucking podcast comes out, bro. True. 30 shades. I don't think you're being touched for a while.
Yeah,
in India.
It's taken us more than a year to close these colors. And I'll give you a very practical problem, right? Bijal and Tanishri, when trying to formulate the shades, were looking for people who are dark skin toned in Bombay. Come to our office, we'll try the color on you and we'll understand undertones a little bit more. We couldn't find people because that population is maybe in the south, maybe in the east, maybe in the west. We weren't able to even find enough volunteers to come in and say, I'll try the color and I'll give you feedback. We had to ship products all over India to get people to give us feedback. So this has taken time, effort, money. And a lot of brands will say, I don't want to do that much, because it's easy to succeed even with less shades. We are going the extra mile because it is the DNA and the foundation of the brand.
Yeah.
And I believe that will one day be the differentiator for the brand to say, this is a brand that can be acquired by a L'Oreal or a Unilever or whatever, right?
Is that the big dream, that you want to take it to a conglomerate or to a really, really big, and they're like, we'll absorb you?
I would love to take it to someone. I'm not necessarily a conglomerate, right, or a larger company, but I want to take it to someone who can then help me take it to an even higher level, right? There'll be like a cap to what we can do.
For those of you requiring context, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, Hailey Bieber just did this with Rhode, right?
Absolutely.
So she sold to Sequeira.
She sold to
No, she didn't. She sold to, sorry, not Sequeira. Elf.
Yeah.
And now she's in, because they weren't, I think, earlier available in Sequeira and things like that. And
they'll open up distribution.
Yeah,
right?
correct.
And you see, like Nike's purchased brands.
Yeah.
Unilever has purchased. Minimalist is arguably the biggest beauty deal that's happened in the country. What it does is just unlocks more. How do I get from tier 1 to tier 2 and tier 3 and tier 4? How do more people know about FAE?
Yeah.
That's the big goal. I want every girl to feel beautiful. And if that means going to a conglomerate one day to ensure that every girl in India can feel that feeling, I'm happy to do it.
That's amazing. Thanks, Karishma. I mean, because I don't think I personally have had to deal with this, but I know that a lot of girlfriends have often felt like, we're always mixing and matching shades. And it might seem like something that's so basic.
Yeah.
But given the way the beauty market has opened up in India in the last few years, and the fact that all of us now feel like putting on a little bit of makeup for even if you're not a daily makeup wearer, you want to, when you're going out for your Diwali parties, for your brunches with your girls, you want to look nice. And I don't want to sit and deal with the hassle of fucking mixing 5 shades.
I agree.
And figuring out which is working for my face.
Yeah, and there's a statistic here. 70% of Indian women fall in the medium to deep skin tone category. Only 30% fall in the fair to light.
And
but
yet we are only catering to them.
That's the
this is the whole, this is the
so
white man fixation. It just, that hangover just doesn't leave us.
The colonial hangover is so deep. I remember.
It's not just colonial. I'm sorry, in India also, if you look at it, our idea of what is beauty or our beauty standard, and I don't mean to call it a particular state, but it's like the Punjabi milky white girl.
Yeah, like a few years ago, there were like a couple of celebrities, and I used to be like, okay, one day if I have to get a celebrity on board, it'll be her. A few years have passed, she's become lighter and lighter and lighter every year. She's no longer eligible to be my brand ambassador. Even if you look at Bollywood mainstream now, there's nobody. How does a dusky girl feel beautiful if there's no representation?
Yeah, I'm trying really hard to think of who's dusky, guys.
In this new generation?
No, seriously, who's dusky?
Yeah.
Like if we had a Bipasha in a previous generation.
Yeah, at least we had Bipasha and Kareena. I mean, Rani, sorry.
No, now we don't have one. The Janvi is really fair. Ananya is really fair.
All of these girls are super fair.
Janvi is the only one who I think is a little bit not as
I think she's super fair.
No, dude, Khushi and Janvi both are super fair.
What you see in real person is pretty fair.
Yeah, she looks fair.
Like our standard is what I'd say compared to Rani and Bipasha, right? Like we don't have that here anymore.
Yeah, we just
so among the younger generation, no. I mean, it's a good thing that actors like Konkana and Tilottama and all of them are still
working.
Even
Masaba for that matter, she's incredible. Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, if you just talk about purely the young crop of actors who've been launched in the last few years, no one.
And you know what's so interesting is when you look at the West, there are all these Indian actresses coming up now. And
Ashley Simone.
Precisely. Why don't we have an Ashley Simone? How can we not? There are so many Ashley Simones right here. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can. It's like, I hate to say it, but I can already think of what the comment section would look like for an Ashley Simone in India, because again we are so obsessed with fair skin. I mean, we've run, I don't know, Fair and Lovely. That just never left us.
It's still Glow and Lovely.
Yeah. I mean, I look at this very oddly because growing up, I was at least 3 shades darker.
Yeah.
And my mother is like, mine is the opposite story, by the way. My mother is milky white and pinkish and this and that, and they would just tell my mother all the time, don't let her swim, don't let her go out in the sun,
all this crap.
She tans too easily, wo malai
Multani, milti, all that crap. It's
so much conditioning that even now, like my mother, she doesn't mean to like shame me or anything, but she'll just sometimes look at me and go like, you're looking so much fairer, like it's something I'm supposed to be proud of. Ways bizarre. But listen, I wanted practical advice for young entrepreneurs, right? For like people like yourself who are dreaming in their early 20s and who are thinking, you know what, maybe this is something I can do. So I want to know, if you had to tell them, where should they go look for the money? Where should they start?
That's a tough one. There are so many startup loans today that we didn't have access to back then. They were starting up. The government has a bunch of no strings attached, not even loans, equity funding that they'll give you to start a company. There's also a special quota for women. So if you're a woman, that could also be applicable. If you have a solid idea, a solid business plan and a path to making money, I would say go the investment route. That's what I did. At a certain point, that's what I did.
Okay, so then let me ask you that. If you want to ask for investment, what is the kind of business plan you need to make?
Is whenever I've made a business plan, I'll make it and then I'll give it to 3 people who have no idea about what's happening about the business. And I'll try to understand, I'll tell them just pick holes in it. like grill me, find problems in it. How do I figure out how to answer this question is my problem. But you have to ask me the right question. So what I'm saying is don't go in from an approach of bias. Approach this as a 0 to 1 journey. You need to have financials, you need to have a deck, you need to have projections, you need to have a go-to-market strategy. These are 4 things that should be there before you pitch your business to anyone.
See, not everyone's got access to business school.
Yeah.
So if you had to learn how to make the most basic business plan to begin with,
Yeah.
where would you go?
So I made my first ever business plan with FAE as well, right? I didn't know how to do it before because I went to business undergrad, not masters. So at that point, I remember I just googled like the top 5 D2C brands that I admired back then in 2017 and saw their pitch deck and tried to replicate
Where
it
are
in
their
some way.
pitch decks available?
Online. I remember googling Blue Tokai pitch deck. I love Blue Tokai. I knew they had raised a bunch of money. I knew they had nothing to do with my industry. Google Blue Tokai pitch deck and used it as my foundation to build mine.
That is a great hack.
Yeah.
That is a great hack. Is
So
the
Google
FAE
mine, you might find it.
Yeah, is
You never
the
know.
FAE beauty deck also available?
I have never put it online, but I'm sure it's not too hard to dig up.
Okay, that's a great hack.
Yeah.
If there are business plans already existing
Tons and
online,
tons of
take
them.
them as a
Yeah.
template.
Yeah.
Awesome. Who should they turn to for advice?
So if you have limited access and don't know where to start, I would say identify a few founders maybe on LinkedIn, cold email them, cold message them. 1 out of 20 might reply. I try to reply, not every time, but I do my best to like try to speak to one budding entrepreneur every now and then. You'd be surprised to know how much people want to help other people who are going through the same journey.
I think sometimes just approaching just feels so intimidating.
does, yeah.
Like, okay, why are they going to give me the time of day?
Yeah.
But sometimes, you know what? That's where you start.
Compassion, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what was the first product you developed and why? And on a similar vein, if someone's launching their own business or wants to, what is a product that they should think about developing first?
So the first product I developed was a product called the Buildable Matte Lipstick. It was the
I
first
remember
time,
this.
It was the first time someone in India had created a formula for a lipstick that was both sheer and matte. Usually you would see matte formulas that are like heavy on pigment. So it took a lot of R&D to get there, and it was actually in hindsight a product that we actually discontinued. We don't even have it anymore because we didn't get enough customer love.
Why didn't it work?
Couple of things. I think I missed the mark in terms of consumer insighting and realizing that in India, people really care about heavy pigment because a lot of Indian people are very value conscious and they want more bang for their buck, which means more long lasting products. And I made a product that was sheer. So I started off at the wrong foot. I think that was one issue with that product. Even though I personally loved it, I think I was just solving for my problem. And that's where my advice comes from, is that your first product could potentially be gut based, but your second, third, fourth product should be data based. And then I changed my attitude of, let's not make products that I feel are going to be cool, let's make products that I know consumers actually need. So to answer your question about what product should a budding entrepreneur launch, I think the first thing you should do is identify your consumer and speak to at least 100 of them and ask them their pain points in that category, whether it's food, whether it's makeup, whether it's skincare. What's one problem you have with the product that you use every single day, and solve that problem. That's the product you should launch.
That's good advice. Yeah, I can see that working. Okay. The other thing, and because it's funny we're sitting in front of the camera right now, but more and more founders are now being pushed in front of the camera कि आप जाओ,
Yeah.
आपको भी अभी content creation करना पड़ेगा.
Yeah.
So Karishma,
Yes.
what's it been like being in front of the camera and having to, when she walked in, she was like, I have the series now, and I'm like, I know, I've done my research. Are you enjoying this phase where you, along with being a founder, also have to be this person who's like, today on my series about, mistakes we made while starting, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Content creator, basically.
I have been being pushed by my well-wishers, by my fellow founders, peers to do content for like the longest time, right? I've been doing FAE for 6.5 years now, and at least 3 years ago, I got this advice, you should be in front of the camera because you're leaving money on the table. Why? Because people make connections with people, not with brands. And I fully agree. But I'm a very personal, private person, and I was candidly very afraid to expose anything about my life other than FAE to the outside world. And I, at that point, thought content creation only has to be, here's where I went for lunch, here's where I went for dinner, not necessarily something that is FAE specific. I couldn't answer the question about how I'll make it different. So I never did it. I was like, it's too scary, it's okay, I'm leaving money on the table. And then I realized that the success of my company and my 6.5 years of hard work is more important than my personal feelings and fears. So I said, let's jump in. And I decided that I will do one thing. I will not bring anything personal into this conversation. And I've stuck to that. Everything I talk about is in relation to FAE. Every single thing, whether I talk about my father or my brother also, it's in relation to the company. Am I enjoying it? In the beginning, I was very scared. Today, I really enjoy it because I love the validation, or not even the validation, I love to see when women who also want to do this just say, you're giving me courage. Because I wish I had more women that I could look up to when I was younger. That's just what makes me happy. And I'm not pushing product on that page, right? I'm just genuinely talking about everything that has gone good and bad on that page. And I hope that someone gets courage to do what I did.
I love that. Also in the same way, do you think that currently, if you were to start a beauty brand or any kind of brand in this country, could the founder not be camera facing at this point?
Yeah,
given the way social media is exploding?
I mean, I think it really depends. I think there are so many beauty brands. Let's look at Minimalist, for example, right? The founders are not super camera facing. They're not doing the same thing.
As a consumer, for me, right, it's so important to know who the founder is. I feel like if I believe in the founder, if I like the person who's actually making those products, I will go and buy it.
And you'll be more loyal.
Yeah.
You'll go back. Yeah.
See, again, what I like is also somewhere like, Huda Kattan, for example, right? I love her story. I was following Huda Kattan when she was just doing makeup videos.
Yeah.
Not when she was this beauty founder and, launching lashes and makeup and this and that. Like, I feel like now I have so much personal stake in her brand doing well because I'm like, I was there when she was just doing random makeup videos.
Yeah. So when I came back, when I made this business plan, first person, so I was trying to find other women who've done this without being celebrities. Huda Kattan was at the top of the list, right? I think she borrowed like $1,000 or $10,000 and
from
she
her
made
sister.
eyelashes with her own hands and sold it to Sequeira.
Yeah.
I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. I can do it.
In my head, I'm also like, where do you learn to make eyelashes?
I swear.
Like, it's the same. Like, I have all these,
because you're the user, you're the consumer.
But whenever I meet a beauty founder, I'm also like, देखो idea कैसे आया कि lipstick कैसे बनाते हैं? It is not something that people are, okay, now I'm sure there are videos on YouTube and Instagram and everywhere. But, when you're thinking about it first, how the hell are you going to make a formula for mascara?
Yeah.
Are you going to, like, are there chemists out there that you need to go find?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do this? I'm asking.
You need a chemist.
Yeah.
I'm not a chemist. I have a chemist on my team and I also have an extremely qualified chemist who is a consultant to us and she helps us develop our formulas, but the ideas are coming from us, right? The ideas are coming actually not from us, from consumers. When we speak to the consumer and do exactly what I said, which is find out their problem and then find out how you're going to solve that problem. And the chemist helps you bring that problem into a formula.
The other thing I wanted to talk to you about were your management practices, okay? I think we're all constantly reading all these surveys and studies being done that apparently Gen Z aren't the most, I'm so sorry guys, hireable of the lot. We have a lot of Gen Z folks sitting here, right?
Yeah.
And apparently the most recent survey that I think came out at the end of last year was that only 1 out of 6 companies now wants to hire Gen Zs.
Interesting, okay.
And hey guys, how does it make you all feel firstly, like, that people don't want to hire Gen Z and like the Gen Z has a really bad rep in the working market? Ayushi is like, I'm not Gen Z.
But I want to work.
I think, okay, I'll just say it like this, right? I've worked with enough Gen Z folks to be like, they're the same as any other generation. In the sense that you will always have people who want to work hard and you will always have people who don't want to work so hard.
Yeah.
Right? I think maybe a little bit of why Gen Z gets a bad rep is they're very easy to call things out.
Yeah.
And no one likes things being called out.
Yep.
They are a very outspoken generation. So I think the bad rep is not coming so much from their work ethic as much as their ability to be like, oh, this is bullshit.
Yeah, call it out.
Fair? Yeah. Okay. But what is your experience as a founder been like working with Gen Z?
It's been like 90% great. Of course,
Okay,
there's always the one outlier or two outlier, but I wouldn't chalk that up to the generation. I just chalk that up to the person, right? They just weren't up to the mark.
Yeah, even when we were working, there was always one idiot on the team who didn't want to do anything, and we were the donkeys picking up their work.
And I have so many Gen Z people in my team, and they're all so good and they're so passionate, and they want to bring fresh perspective, and they have this attitude of pushing the status quo, right? Like they'll bring me ideas that I might not be capable of thinking of, and that's what they're there for. So I don't have really a age bias.
Yeah.
But it also depends on the role. Like if you're hiring someone who needs 6 to 7 years of experience, obviously Gen Z might not qualify in that area. But if you're hiring with a little bit less experience, of course they're younger, so they qualify. But I don't have any hesitation about bringing them on board. I'm happy to.
But as a millennial, I think you're a millennial, now.
millennial,
You're like
yeah.
a young millennial.
Yeah.
What is something that you do have to adapt to when you're working with, say, someone who's 10 years younger? Or things in your own head that you feel like you have to make space for?
Big priority in life for them is work-life balance,
Yes.
which I didn't have the guts to have.
Yeah.
I till today don't have work-life balance, but I'm the founder. I chose this life, so I respect that they want work-life balance. But when I was out of college, my first job, I didn't have the balls to ask to go home on time, right? It was like, I have to work. I don't have a choice. But I actually respect that about them.
Yeah.
You know, it just means that they come back with so much more enthusiasm the next day. You know, you don't have to ragda all the time. You can ragda on some days. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It depends. I feel like there's so much conditioning for our
we
generation.
are
Like I feel like if
you have to slog, you know.
if my boss was like, tomorrow ye rally nikal raha hai, like when I was a journalist,
Yeah.
I am not even thinking about going to him. I am directly calling my mom and saying, hi, I can't
I'm
make
not
it.
coming. Exactly.
Kal nahi ho payega.
Absolutely, I'm on the same page.
I did not have the guts to go up to my boss and be like, there is this family function
Yeah.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
and my attendance is kind of important. It's like my first cousin's wedding, but like, no, fuck that. Nahi, tum aao rally par.
Yeah, I mean, when I I used to initially be very frustrated, but then I also realized two things. That first of all, it's a job, okay? Like their life is more important than this job, realistically. For me, my job is more important
Is
than
it?
my life.
Oh God, look at me just being an asshole. No,
But
I'm kidding.
and second of all, yeah, I'm inspired by you. I also want to be able to have a boundary, right? And you know what? They don't compromise on work. At least my team doesn't. They have work-life balance, but the work is getting done. So who the fuck am I? Sorry.
That's fine. Hey, I have been swearing
To
from,
judge.
from the beginning of this episode.
Yeah. Who am I
I
to
like
judge
that Karishma. She's like, oh fuck. I said fuck. Oh fuck.
All the Gen Z children watching me.
Let me flip it, right? I mean, let's not give them such a good reputation also. Some of them are absolute terrors to work with. Also because, shit, this is controversial, right? Okay, I feel like as much as there is access to mental health,
Yeah.
I do have a problem with anyone, not a particular generation, just abusing mental health terms
Yeah.
as an excuse for things not getting done.
Yeah.
Right? So my big problem is that, you know, if someone turns around and uses like, I was having a very anxious day, I was having a very depressing, and very like, I'm talking about like terms that are not like to be used lightly.
They're heavy, yeah.
Then I'm just like, that's a little problematic for me.
Sure.
Like, well, okay, you had a bad day yesterday, let's talk about it, let's
Yeah.
figure out how to come up with a solution. But you don't have to come and make it seem like, oh, you know, like, don't trivialize mental health issues.
Yeah, I agree. Abuse of mental health issues is not a joke. I also think that sometimes boundaries are important, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're taking a personal day, take a personal day. Why are you telling me so many details also?
Yeah.
Would there sometimes keep a boundary? I'm your boss at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Unless, okay, there's a different kind of a relationship here. You've been in the team for 5 years. You're telling me something personal. I'm empathetic when I need to be. But one thing I've learned in this journey is to draw a boundary between what I should know and what I shouldn't know.
So on that note, what is the most ridiculous excuse someone has given you to get out of something?
There is a bizarre one, okay, and there's two. I was like this is like very good one.
You
to
know,
ask
I love
about.
this.
Yeah.
Karishma is one of those. I have sent her pre-briefing notes.
And she's prepped.
She has studied. She has prepped. She has come with anecdotes. I would like to say to any future guests going on podcasts, this is great. Please continue.
Why are you late? I was walking my cat, and another cat attacked me. Who is walking cats? Please inform me.
Okay.
And then he gave me a picture of the cat on a leash.
So I
and
want
this
to tell you.
bichara cat has been put on a leash.
Yeah, so I want to tell you, unfortunately or fortunately, since I'm a cat mom,
Don't tell me you walk your
and
cat.
Sameera is also a cat mom, I want to tell you that yes, cats on leashes do exist. I have never been able to successfully train any of my babies to do it, but I do have a best friend who literally, her cat's name is Daisy, my best friend Liesl. So while they were still in India, and Daisy is this like chonky cat, okay, but Daisy has to go around the society. So she was put on this really colorful leash, and she had multiple boyfriends in the society, the cat.
Yeah.
Not Liesl, the cat.
Yeah.
So yeah, cats on leashes do
So
exist.
I was like, I mean, that's bizarre. I don't know what to
your
say.
cat is not on a walking schedule.
I was walking my cat. Another cat attacked us. What's going on?
Yeah, I love it. Cats with leashes.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about the Shark Tank experience.
The Shark Tank experience was incredible. It was, I think it was a pinch me moment, you know, to be able to. I remember walking in and those doors opening, and I've watched Shark Tank my whole life. Shark Tank USA, oh my God, I used to be obsessed with all of them. And then being able to actually be a part of a show that is monumental in the at least entrepreneur community, not so much in anything else, but it was very exciting. It was very difficult for us this season because we didn't air on TV. No episodes aired on TV. It was on OTT only, so
Yeah.
we live.
Straight
And
to Sony Live,
that
yeah.
was really hard because we didn't get the viewership. And we beefed up inventory, we stocked up, expecting things to blow up, right? Because from tier 1 and tier 2 cities that know you, India will know you, right? So typically when I've spoken to any brands that have gone to Shark Tank, and I have a lot of peers and friends who've been, I call them friends, but you know, fellow entrepreneurs who've been on Shark Tank, I call them, how much inventory should I buy? What can I expect? And they said, brace yourself. It's going to be the next big thing for your brand.
Yeah.
Nothing. We saw like very little spike in traffic, and it actually put us in a very vulnerable position as a brand because we had ended up with so much inventory for which we took on loans. And how do you pay back those loans? So, I mean, like I said, I'm a fighter. I've been through hell and back multiple times. So even this was just another difficult challenge. We cleared it. We managed to sell the inventory off, put heaven and earth together and sold it, because I remembered one thing, that look, I couldn't build FAE on Shark Tank. Na? I tried. It was my best bet to jump orbits in terms of scale. It didn't work out, but I got a lot of goodwill. More people know about the brand. So many girls now who come to our events come and say, I saw you on Shark Tank and that's the only reason I'm here. And for me, that's a win, right?
Yeah, yeah.
People got to hear that my journey has not been easy. And I think there's a lot of power in that, because some people think that it's a bed of roses, and it's not been. So for me, Shark Tank was great, even though I didn't get the kind of sales response that I wanted, and that was the primary objective apart from fundraising. I did get a lot of love for the brand and a lot of consideration for the brand, which is good.
I mean, I feel like you're not the first brand to have said this though.
Yeah,
and
it's
I feel
happened to
like,
everyone this
yeah,
season.
because there was another, you know, a friend's sari brand
Yeah,
that
the
also,
one you're talking about.
yeah, that also
Yeah.
sort of did this season. And I think a lot of people don't know that behind the scenes also there's so much work that goes into just
God.
prepping,
It's
the
months.
monies, everything that goes into being on Shark Tank India. Like, you know, I'm saying that, see, to an average viewer, it's portrayed as, oh, you know, here's this person who has this startup or who
It's
has
not
this
like
company,
that, yeah.
and they're coming to take their company to the next level and get more investment from these sharks.
Yeah.
It's presented as such a simple idea, but
Yeah.
behind the scenes, I was recently told by Ayushi that there's also so much writing that you have to do with the founders. You have a writing team to work
Yeah.
with. You're prepping your pitch.
It's a lot of work. I mean,
It's a
you're
2-hour shoot, right, for you?
My pitch was 2 hours,
And on TV, it must be like what?
15 minutes.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It's a real VC simulation, like they grill you.
Yeah.
It's not easy. What you see on TV is the best part. But I will say one more good thing that came out of Shark Tank is Aman and Namita, right? I have some great investors on my cap table, Kunal, Arihant, Aman, Namita. They've all been so great, right? I got the opportunity to bring more smart people on my, in my like camp.
Yeah.
And I think that's been enough as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, because sometimes, you know, also like this stuff also needs to be talked about, right?
It's hard.
Like
Yeah.
that, don't just think that your life is going to, I actually love the fact that you're able to share that your life didn't change after Shark Tank India.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people would, I mean, I didn't know, I didn't ask you this purposely in the briefing, because I actually wanted to know over here, and I was like, you know, how come other brands are saying that their lives didn't really change?
Yeah.
In fact, if anything, same, stuck with a lot of inventory,
Yeah.
don't know what to do with it,
Yeah.
and you're now struggling to get away, like, you know, get rid of it.
Yeah.
Especially if you came up with an idea just for that pitch. Like, I know the other sari brand that I'm talking about, they came up with an idea particularly for Shark Tank
Yeah.
India, because they thought that that would change their life and that
Yeah.
would change the market.
I genuinely thought this is going to change my life. I went in saying my life is going to be different after this, and I also went in thinking that even if I have a bad outcome, my life will still be different, because FAE will be able to be accessible to more people. But the main thing that we wanted from it, apart from investment, like I said, was access, and we didn't get it. And I feel like we were robbed of it, you know. So
What was
many
more
of us-
important for you? I think it was distribution and access.
Of course. I mean, it was primary objective is always to get out there, right?
Yeah.
Because I have fundraised before. So that it wasn't my first rodeo. I decided to do it so publicly because there was a massive opportunity in front of me, and this year it's coming on TV. So because they understood, right, that and so we wrote to them. We wrote to them in hounds and junds ki, guys, please put us on TV. Please. I mean, our entire lives, people took on loans. I took on loans to just buy inventory.
Yeah.
And when it went live and we didn't see that spike, it was the scariest experience of our lives.
In general, I don't think a show like that works if it's not going out to the masses.
Of course, it
Because
has to be on TV.
see, there are such few ways for a brand to become a household name, right?
Yeah.
Like the other thing I'm going to ask you, for example, is there a thought for you to at some point get on a celebrity brand ambassador?
Yeah.
Because the number one reason why I think that happens is because you want your brand to be like, ये शाहिद कपूर का अच्छा ये उसको popularize किया है, या Kareena Kapoor is the face of this brand and that's how I know them.
Yeah.
But Shark Tank is like such a cool alternative way to do it, where it's your story, you are the face, you are leading all of that.
Yeah.
If you're not on TV, what's the point?
What's the point? Yeah.
But okay, so when something like this happens, right? And we talked about mental health. What do you do when shit is really, really going bad?
It's actually a CBT technique, which is just thinking about what's the worst thing that could happen in my life. And everyone has a different...
What is CBD?
Cognitive behavior therapy.
Okay,
So
CBT.
everyone has a different worst case scenario, right? Yours might be, I don't know, it could be anything.
No
right?
money in my bank account, I'll
Yeah.
tell you. I know what my
right?
worst case
Correct.
is.
So that's your worst fear.
Yeah.
If you think about the situation that you're currently in, and then you think, is it going to result in my worst fear ever? And if the answer to that is no, you can move on.
Shit, why is my answer always yes, guys? Why? Why?
If it's going to result in ₹0 in your bank, zero, the chances are very low, right? So you'll move on.
So that's all.
That's all I do.
You don't have days of anxiety.
Oh, I have crippling anxiety. I go crazy. I lose my mind. But with work, right? I'm not talking about my personal life because that's a whole different storm. With work, I just remember that can this result in my worst case scenario of my life, right? Not just from a FAE perspective, but in Karishma's life, what is the worst thing that could happen to her? Will my sale going down today impact that? No. So I have to move on. Na? If I only am not confident, there are 30 people who depend on me for payroll. How are they going to get confidence?
Okay, so then in that same vein, tell me about your biggest failure and tell me about your biggest win.
I think biggest win is just being here. I think it's such a full circle moment, right? To be here, to be able to talk about my brand in this platform, in the same building that I learned how to be a makeup artist.
Oh, here.
Yeah, I think just this moment in my life is
So
a huge
sweet,
win.
yeah. So cute.
And biggest
I'm
failure.
like here, like, I mean, what does she mean?
This moment, feels like a win to me. And I think the biggest...
I would like to say she's being really modest. She has obviously had much bigger wins, guys.
I think that also you don't... I mean, you sort of forget sometimes the wins also, right? You just keep moving and moving and moving.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest failure also I forget because I just keep moving. But I think I think my first product ever felt like a failure because I was so convinced that it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But I think the actual right thing to do was to shut it down and start something, get a better product to market.
And I think the fact that you can't remember what your big wins and your big fails are is also a blessing.
Truly.
Just move on. You're just like,
yeah, you
dust
can't
it
get
off.
too egoistic or too sad. You
Yeah.
just have to move.
can't like rest in your laurels and go like, oh my god, I'm the queen. I've just done everything. Like, I'm so amazing. But no, yeah. Okay, I have a rapid fire for you, okay? When was the first time you were like, okay, I'm actually a CEO now?
I think the first time I had to pay salaries.
Okay, I feel like that today then. What's the best and worst advice you got when you were starting FAE?
Worst was don't do it.
Fuck them.
Yeah. Best was go for it. I'm standing behind you, my father.
Love it. What's one behind the scenes startup story that actually sounds really glamorous outside, but was actually pure chaos and shit inside?
I think just launching a product, right? I remember when I first launched a product, people be like, wow, how did you think of it? How did you find the packaging? How did you do this? Even today, I think when you look from the outside, the beauty industry seems so damn glamorous. Wow, you get to make lipsticks, you get to make foundations. It's so damn hard. The process of conceptualizing, formulating, making sure the product is compatible with the packaging, getting the legal metrology right. The whole industry is not glamorous. It just looks glamorous.
I mean, it must get tiring after a while to also test all those damn products, because I'm sure like putting on 1, 2, 15, 20, 30, 40, fuck you, I want to leave.
Fortunately, I live for that shit. Like,
Really?
I live for it. I just love those 50, 30, 100 trials. I love it.
So just
Gives
me
me
who
life.
doesn't want to do that. Great. Understood. Okay. If you weren't building FAE, what career path do you think you'd have taken?
So I've thought about this. I always thought about like what next, right? Whatever happens with FAE. It's either to bake like 20 loaves of sourdough. The best sourdough you can get in Bombay is my goal. Every day I'll bake 20 loaves from my house.
Right.
I don't want to start a kitchen. I don't want to get into a full-fledged business. I'm not there to make money. I just want to enjoy the process of making bread and selling bread to people who appreciate bread.
I'm
It's
guessing
very
you already
niche.
make bread.
Yeah, I love to make sourdough. I don't do it that often anymore.
Was this a COVID obsession?
Yes.
Oh my
Of
God, you're
course.
one of those.
Yeah, so I took a course during COVID with a chef who was doing like virtual Zoom courses of how to make sourdough.
Who else started making sourdough and
too
bread
good.
during? Who else started baking or making bread or anything during
Yay!
COVID?
Okay, we have a lot.
Everyone.
How you made that starter last?
Are it's damn easy.
Every time.
And I love food. I just really love food. So that.
I love eating food. Does
I
that
love
count?
eating, cooking, everything. And the second plan is to open a salon. I mean, I would have opened a salon if I didn't do this because I love the industry. I love beauty. I would have maybe opened a salon actually.
Salon business. I mean, then they're more or less right. Now, then that you did want to at some level do that.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your pet peeve?
I have so many. I hate people who are late. I know it's ironic because I was so late today.
I'm so sorry we
I
can't be
was
friends, Karishma.
I was so late
I'm
today.
generally a slight late Latif person, not to shoots, not to work.
I feel like this is a Bandra thing.
Bandra. It's not Bandra. It's Bandra.
It's Bandra. It's a Bandra thing.
It's a Bandra thing.
I can't handle lateness. And I don't like being called a woman entrepreneur. Because obviously, I mean, you can see now I'm a woman entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Do you say woman doctor?
No.
So then, I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay. I agree with you on the second one. I'm so sorry about the first one. When in doubt, what is your fallback mantra?
Is it the worst case scenario? If it's not, move on.
Okay. I will start asking myself that question. What is the weirdest thing you've been asked to do in front of the camera?
My content team is always making me do all kinds of shit. But it works. It works. No, I mean, I think once my team, again for views, made a presentation of how to grow the company or how to grow our Instagram following. And one of the suggestions they wrote is start beef with the creator. They're telling me if you start beef with the creator, you'll become relevant. This was obviously all for camera. They spoofed me. Then they suggested I should go on Big Boss because visibility.
Big Boss.
I used to see my
What
face.
do they want you to go?
Because
Like they want you to
I
go in
didn't-
there with like
I didn't-
FAE merch and then live
as
in
a
the Big Boss
participant.
house.
Yeah, as a participant.
Yeah,
they
live in the
wanted
Big Boss house, but
Yeah.
all your suitcases are full of FAE
me.
merch.
Yeah, and I didn't know until halfway through this activity that they are joking with me. I thought they're actually presenting this plan. And I'm looking at them like, you really think that that's the only way we'll grow? I mean, have you lost all
Like,
hope?
yeah. Do you not believe in the products at all?
At
What
all?
are you doing here? Great.
Yeah.
Okay, well done on your rapid fire. The next question. What does life look like outside FAE for Karishma? Like, what are you doing when you're OOO? Which is, by the way, something I recently learned that is out of office.
You learned.
Like, suddenly I'm getting these emails, hey, I'm OOO, will be accessible after. I'm like, OOO? Like, this is a bit too fancy for me. Are you guys using OOO? Like, I only know OO Jane Jana. So,
That's how you could work for a 90s kid.
if you don't know OO Jane Jana, we can't be friends.
What a song.
Are you guys using OO? Even saying it sounds weird.
Do you know TLDR?
Yeah. Listen, I know. I know what these terms mean.
you don't
OO
use
was
them.
new. I was just like, it sounds weird even in an email.
It does. But and I'm like, how much time are you really saving by saying OOO instead of out of office?
But I think now it's just accepted that you're
Yeah.
supposed to write it
Now
like
it's cool.
this. Yeah.
Wow,
But what
she's
is
so-
life outside of the office?
Candidly, I don't have much of a life outside for a very long time.
See, Gen Z founders at this point are like, matlab work-life balance is zero. Okay, if Karishma is saying that she has no life outside office, then how are we going to do a startup, build our products and also be able to, what do Gen Z do nowadays? Go for coffee
Chill.
raves.
Yeah, coffee raves. So
Go for grocery raves.
I made a reel once about this that I don't have work-life balance. I did a reel, I don't have work-life balance, and I got so much hate on it that I don't remember who it was, but there was some, I think the CEO of, I don't know if I should say, there was a big CEO in India who promoted not having work-life balance. You should work 18 hours a day, you should be...
We all know who that CEO is.
So I was compared
You
to him.
guys know, na?
Yeah.
Google karo, comment section.
I was compared to him in the comments, ki you're just like him. And because I just said, I don't have work-life balance. I didn't say my team doesn't. But the candid truth is that I don't. And I'm very okay with it right now. I do have some life balance, but it used to be much better when I first started because life was a bit more chill. Today, I have certain targets, certain goals, and I believe the window of opportunity is small. So I'm giving it my 5,000%, and sometimes it takes a toll on my personal life. But I think that now is the time for me to work, and eventually I'll catch up on the rest.
You know, the thing is for me, what I don't understand sometimes about this is that how do you expect to grow something from the ground up if you're not going to give it your all? Because this is not a corporate job where someone else is going to take the flak for everything if things don't go right.
It's you.
And also, when you're when you're a founder and there are 500 things going, I'm sure you must have thought sometimes at 2 a.m. in the morning, ki, arey yaar, did someone do a quality check on that?
Yeah.
Or was that shade okay? Did we send out that deck? Did we inform
I
this person?
once got asked by a team member to stop emailing at 3 a.m. because it was troubling her. Because she's like, I am awake at 3. I'm watching TV. I'm doing whatever I want. But when you're emailing me, it's adding pressure to me, right? That I need to reply, even though I know your expectation is not that I'll reply at 3. But you also stop, na? Why are you emailing me at 3? And I said, I'll schedule my email to reach you at 6 a.m.
So you're right, schedule it.
Yeah, now I schedule it. And or now I write in my email, no need to reply to this right now, but I'm putting my thoughts down. Reply at your ease, you know. So it's tough to have work-life balance right now, but I think I'm working towards it.
Okay, so then let's come back to
But I do fun things.
Okay, what fun things do you do?
I love to eat. I love to cook.
Eat. We're all eating to stay alive.
I have a
Karishma.
dog and she's the light of my life. So I spend
What's
a lot of
her
time
name?
with her. Her name is Barkey.
Barkey.
Yeah, and I'm Sindhi. So Barkey means hug in Sindhi. I think it's the cutest name ever. She's too cute.
What breed?
She's a Shih Tzu.
Oh, tiny.
She's so cute. She comes to work with me every single day. So she's our Chief Happiness Officer. We call her the CHO.
Nice.
At FAE. I'm really big on reading and I really love to watch a lot of murder mysteries. I love true crime. I love to watch anything about serial killers.
What about dating? Because you said you're engaged to be married now.
Yes.
So as someone who doesn't have too much work-life balance, what does your partner need to do in order to support you and in order to kidnap you for a few days when you guys need to get away from it all?
So I think first of all, the fact that he comes from a similar school of thought in terms of he's also an entrepreneur.
भाई तुम लोग की शादी के बाद क्या होने वाला है? हनीमून में भी तुम लोग दोनों वहाँ पे presentations बना रहे हो.
Yeah. I swear. I mean, we have certain boundaries, right? Which is certain nights when we meet or certain days when we meet, no phone. Like
that's a
do
good
not
boundary.
bring your phone to the table.
Sorry, but
do not bring your laptop. And
yeah.
I'm capable of taking a laptop to a date also. I've taken my laptop in the car on the way on my laptop. I'll eat dinner in the car on the way back on my laptop. We decide, okay, this is like a no phone zone. So that's one thing. And I think the other thing is just compassion, yeah. Like understanding that this person is not addicted to their work because they're inconsiderate of your feelings. They just have a greater responsibility. And that compassion is very important. So my partner takes my career as seriously as his, which makes a huge difference. So that's I'm blessed. Yeah.
Because I mean, my point is that today, what is the evaluation of FAE?
The value is it's 66 crores as on fair market right
if
now.
you are not taking a business worth 66 crores seriously, and that doesn't mean to say that if it's worth even like whatever 10 lakhs,
it's still something that you
take
build,
it
right?
seriously.
Yeah. So I think that when I first met my partner and he was actually super interested in what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, why did you start it? No guy had asked me that question before, which was shocking because I met him at the age of 29.
Did you meet him like via one of the dating apps or like common friends?
No, our friend introduced us. We very much set up on like,
okay, like
you are in the market for something serious, he is in the market for something serious, here's each other's numbers, talk. And I'm out of it. And we talked and we got along and we dated for like 2.5 years and now we're getting married.
And he was the first person to ask you like, why did you decide to do this?
Yeah. I mean, other guys had obviously spoken to me about, I've had other partners who've been incredibly supportive as well. They're not all like this, but so many of them just thought that my job is like a hobby, you know. But there are, like I said, I will give credit where credit is due. There are people who've been incredibly amazing, but this partner, the one, right? He literally considers it to be as much of, I think, his success as mine, and I think that is what helps a lot.
That is so important.
Yeah.
Nazar na lage.
Yeah, touch wood.
Okay, tell me about friendship deal breakers. Like, what do you need at this point in your life, or what have you needed from your friends?
I think understanding. I think I've been an AWOL friend for the past few years. I used to be very much around. I used to be very social. I'm still social when I want to be, but I have sort of shifted gears to just prioritize work and then my partner and my family, right? And fortunately, I think most of my friends are really understanding of what it takes to do what I'm doing, and also the fact that we're all getting older, right? Some of my friends are married, so they're busy in their married life. Some of my friends are having children, so they're busy with that. So everyone kind of like understands that this is my zone. So I think compassion is important.
Did you ever have to like deal with the whole thing of like, suddenly when there's a partner and there have been friends who've been around your whole life, right? But the partner suddenly comes and gets more space than the friends.
Yeah, I think that's a natural progression.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I think balance
I don't
is
know,
important.
I'm trying to figure out if that is a natural progression or there needs to be a balance there also.
I think there needs to be a balance because you can't lose your identity to your partner.
No, also more importantly, I feel like life has taught me that maybe partners might come and go.
True.
Friends
Friends
chances
stay
are going to
forever.
stick around.
Yeah, so I mean, I try to integrate my partner with my friends wherever I can so that it doesn't feel like them or them.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's important to have your own friends.
Oh, 100%.
Like, separate.
Who are not
Who are
at
just
all.
my friends.
Yeah. Like, who are you going to go to vent to?
Exactly.
Who are you going to go bitch to?
Exactly.
As much as you like your partner, you need a venting place.
You do.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, what about professional deal breakers? Like, what are
Lying.
things as an entrepreneur that you will not do?
Lies.
Lies.
Never. Do not lie.
Yeah. Is that the only deal breaker?
Photoshop on images. I will not Photoshop an image. At least I will not color. I will not touch up. I will not remove facial hair, acne, etc.
I want to ask you tomorrow, if you do have a celebrity who you decide to take on as an ambassador, how are you going to deal with this?
I've thought a lot about what celebrity looks like for FAE, and I've realized that it can't just be one person, because if we're representing the entire spectrum of Indian women, how can I choose one woman to be free and equal and be representative of all types of beauty? So I've realized that it has to be multiple people in multiple life areas. So it cannot just be an actress. It can be one actress, one FAE D'Souza, God willing, one Janice Sequeira. Like, there can be different people in different categories where different women relate to. So I think that's what celebrity will look like for FAE, not just your traditional run-of-the-mill
And I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's a superb idea. Okay, my last segment is called the Pasandida segment.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to ask you your favorites. Say, what is your Pasandida gali?
It's
Crap
quite,
is not a
quite
gali.
PC, but
Crap is not gali.
what the hell? Okay, it's fuck.
Say another. Karishma is really वो school में ना वो जो fuck वाला नहीं बोलते.
I was
First
that.
bencher, no?
100%.
हाँ, there, understood. Pasandida period food.
Carbonara.
शौक बड़े इनके.
हाँ. You asked me the price of bacon.
Okay, Pasandida activity to decompress.
Watching true crime?
Yeah, correct.
For sure.
Yeah. Brain rot also? No?
No.
Okay. Pasandida term or slang that you use around friends. There you can say crap or
Arre.
arre. How do you say it?
Arre yaar.
Pasandida dish you like to cook for those you love. Oh my god, she's going to say sado.
No. I make the most amazing spicy salmon over crispy rice. Like salmon tartare over crispy rice. That's like my speciality. And my fiance loves it, and I make it for him at least once a week.
Behni, kya ho raha? You like taking cooking classes also on the side, is it?
I love cooking.
Crispy rice and salmon.
Yeah, on top with a little bit of truffle oil.
Okay. Who is your Pasandida female character of all time?
Female. Oh, so generic. But Geet from Jab We Met. I think it's also Kareena Kapoor being that like fearless as a person. It's just like double-ended,
It was also the graph too. It was from where she went like
up, down,
like
and back.
Yeah.
And then that being vulnerable and being lifted.
Like it's real, right? Like I feel like I've been there, Yeah.
Literally the
All
things.
have been a geek once.
100%. At least one of her phases. Yeah.
Look at Janice making faces.
No. I literally went through it last year. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I will still be manjoing bartans. Have I told you? I mean, because I've been telling all the people who've been talking about it. My big pet peeve is, you know a scene jhaan pe when she's cleaning the bartans?
Yeah.
Why are her nails manicured?
True.
Like, why?
True.
Can we just like pay a little more attention to these things? Such an iconic character, but
Remove
I'm
the
like,
nail polish,
every
yaar.
time I think of, I'm like, this should not have been a French manicure. It should not have been a French manicure.
True.
Okay, who is your Pasandida lady in real life?
Like someone I know.
Someone you know, someone you look up to.
So there's this one creator. Her name is Sham. She's an interior designer. She
Okay.
runs a studio called SRJs. I think I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's probably weird that I know this much about her because so she is this extremely successful interior designer.
Where is she based?
Bombay.
Okay.
And she has 2 children. And she documents a lot about how she brings her child to work, she brings her dog to work, she has very clear work-life boundaries, she is a very supportive partner who understands what it takes to be a successful woman in business. And she's not like a huge celebrity, but like I think one day I want to be like her, right? Like she's got it together.
I love that.
I think it's impressive.
I love that answer because it also helps me discover someone new, helps
Check
my
her out.
entire team discover someone new.
She's cool.
So
yeah.
in that same vein, what is a
Yeah.
question you'd like to ask her?
Does it get easier? For sure, I'd ask her that. Like she has like videos of her like 8 months pregnant and doing like heavy deadlifts, and I'm like, wow, like guts. You know?
What is her name?
Sham. So Sarah, SARAH, I think. Sham.
We have
She's
a Sarah
Indian.
on set. Sarah, where's Sarah?
Yeah.
Sarah
Yeah, maybe
is
it's
like-
Sarah, not Sarah. Sorry. But yeah, she's Indian. She lives in Bombay, and she's awesome.
Shout out to Sarah.
Shout out to Sarah. I want
I mean,
to
if she
design a
sees
house
this
for me one
video,
day.
it's like, oh, manifest it.
I want to
Because
manifest her designing my house one day.
Because that is my
Yeah.
last question, right? Like, I mean, I don't know if you're a manifestation girly. I don't know if you do things like vision boards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not heavily into it, but
Yeah.
I do know that it means so much to the current generation to sort of think about things like that. So what is something that you're manifesting for yourself? Or what is something that you think you've already manifested for yourself?
I think the fact that this company exists is a very big testament to like being very positive about a certain outcome, because there were so many instances in which I felt like it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
But I had decided from a very young age that one day I will do this. And I feel like that was somewhere like my push. So I think the fact that FAE exists and it's gotten here is a manifestation in its own way. I'm not big into manifesting. I do have goals and visions, and I think the next thing that I want to manifest for myself is genuinely success with balance. I think that is what I really, really want. Like I talked a lot about how I don't have balance, and I want to be more balanced while still being successful.
No, I love this because we've spoken so much about work-life balance and you're not having it.
Yeah.
And now that's something that you're manifesting for yourself.
Yeah, is what I would say.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Karishma, this has been so enriching. I don't know much about the world of business, but just listening to you talk about it so passionately makes me feel like, okay, that's cool. It might be something that you might want to do someday.
Yeah.
And I hope that that's what it does for anyone who's watching this episode. Thank you so much for being on
Thank you.
Pasandida
It
Ladies.
was so fun. So fun. Thank you.
So if you guys are listening to this on Spotify, on Apple or any other audio app, please make sure you watch the YouTube video as well, because where else will you get to see me do this? Or get to see Karishma really squirm when I ask her the price of local household items. And please, if you're watching, like, share, subscribe, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.